Yeah, maybe we can start while I'm trying to fix the video issue.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
So, good evening, all.
Okay, sir. Good evening, everyone. So, welcome, sir. Okay, welcome, sir, to the 4th day of FTP, Sustainable Manufacturing and Advanced Automation in Industries, sponsored by AICT Atal. So, it's an honor and privilege to introduce a distinguished leader in the field of IT strategy, solution architecture, software project management, cybersecurity, and global delivery, a domain that is shaping the future of business and technology. Please join me in welcoming Mr. SRIKANTA MOHAPTRA, Delivery Head, Cloud Services and Digital Transformation at Tata Consultancy Services. With an impressive 29 years of experience, Mr. Mohapatra has been at the forefront of digital transformation, cloud computing, and IT consulting for global enterprises. His career at Tata Consultancy Services has spanned over 2 decades, where he has played a vital role in delivering IT strategies, managing large-scale software projects, and ensuring secure and efficient digital solutions for organizations worldwide. His expertise in cloud services, cybersecurity, and AI-driven solutions has helped businesses navigate the ever-evolving technological landscape. Before his current role, Mr. Mohapatra served as the National IT Operations Head at Tata Business Services, where he successfully led complex IT operations across multiple regions, ensuring seamless connectivity and service excellence. His academic credentials are equally impressive. He holds a Master of Computer Applications in Artificial Intelligence from Indira Gandhi Institute of Technology, Sarang, and an MBA in Systems Engineering from Xavier Institute of Management. A strong foundation in physics, computing, and AI-driven solutions has been instrumental in his ability to bridge technology and business strategy effectively. With a deep understanding of cloud transformation, cybersecurity frameworks, and IT governance, Mr. Mohapatra is a leader who continuously drives innovations and excellence in the IT sector. We are incredibly fortunate to have him with us today to share his insights. So without further delay, please join me in welcoming Mr. SRIKANTA MOHAPTRA, sir.
I hope I am audible now.
Yes, sir, you are audible.
While I'm trying parallelly to fix the camera issue, this is where the technology fails. Okay.
No problem, sir.
The last minute teething issues every time crops up. So it's good to be part of this meeting. Okay. And
Yes, sir, you take your time, sir.
You have already spelled out my career, how I studied, where I studied, what I did over the last close to 32 years,
Yes,
3 years into academics research and 29 years into the industry.
Yes, sir.
I will probably, the way I would like to take it up, I will share a very small story.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Please.
So
Yes,
let me share my screen. I hope
yes,
I will be able to with technology support. So just give me again 1 minute.
Yes, sir. And thank you so much, sir, for accepting our invitation. Within a short period of time, you accepted this because, but your schedule was on 1st March. But we are really obliged that you agreed to present today.
I'll get
Thank
Just 1 minute. I'm trying to figure it out where the issue is. Then probably I'll explain where the
Yes, sir.
technology failed.
Hello. Yes. Hello. Hello.
Allow this time.
Yes. Working for you.
So let me sign up from the other side.
When will you fix this technology?
Your name. SRIKANTA. Join now.
Just lock.
So participants, sorry for the inconvenience. So sir will join shortly. So let's wait for a few minutes.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
So I tried all the means. Unfortunately, I could not switch on my camera. There is some problem. Okay.
Yes, sir. Uh,
You all have to bear with me. I'm so sorry.
okay, sir. Okay. Uh, okay, sir. No problem. Yes, it's visible, sir. The PPT is visible. Hello? Hello? Sir, your PPT is visible, sir.
Mute, huh? I hope I am audible, right?
Yes, sir, you are audible. Your PPT is also visible, sir.
The PPT, is it visible now?
No, not now, sir.
I stopped the sharing, but unfortunately, when I'm switching on the sharing mode,
Okay.
it's
So,
1 minute, 1 minute, 1 minute, 1 minute. That
yes.
screen. Am I audible now?
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes. Yes.
So what I was trying to explain, specifically a person who is trying to order a pizza using a AI assisted mobile app. Okay. And I assume most of this participant group who are there in this event might have got experience of talking to a automated voice messages. Okay. While either dealing with a customer care or dealing with any kind of complaint, be it banking system, be it insurance system, be it any say Amazon, wherein probably you might have put a order and then trying to cancel it out. Okay. And this gentleman, Mr. X, tried to order a pizza with this specification, and the only mistake I would say that he has attempted is using AI. He tried to put the order. Okay. So before he could, finally decide what is the menu or what is the choice of the ingredients he is going to have as part of the pizza, they are the options and it got auto selected. Okay. And it is primarily based on the taste, choice, and preference of the individual, Mr. X. Okay. And AI confirms the order and gives the estimated delivery time of 30 minutes. Well calculated, all communicated to him, saying that within 30 minutes is going to receive the order or the pizza to be delivered. Okay. So within minutes, AI modifies the order, adds extra olive instead of removing them. Okay. The order was initially to remove with little olive, but now, depending upon the data that was available to the system, AI, enabled system, it modifies the order. Then system checks gluten-free crust is not available. Okay. So it got changed with replaced, regular crust. And unfortunately, even though Mr. X was not happy to place this order, but he doesn't have a choice to cancel or modify. He has to survive with the, AI assisted, nominated or the, recommended order for the pizza. He continued. And after the stipulated time, the app says order already delivered, but no pizza at Mr. X door. So there is a simple small mistake. Instead of 124 Maple Street address, it was got delivered to 214 Maple Street. It shows the pizza got delivered to 214 Maple Street. Okay. So now Mr. X got irritated. He tried to log a complaint. And the AI enabled app was insisting that pizza is already delivered, so not ready to accept the complaint even. So eventually, he caught hold of the toll-free number and logged a formal complaint. Okay, while the neighbor of 124 Maple Street was enjoying the pizza. So now, after so much of frustration, he still tried to reorder. Okay. Now the problem is this AI assisted app is not allowing him to raise another order because the earlier issue he has already attempted to log a complaint and it is unresolved. Whereas the system went ahead one step, parallelly exploring the option to give a lucrative offer of additional 10% discount if he is reordering. Okay. So eventually the process could not be complete. Okay. So the message that we get from here is it is always preferably easy to call a human being, be in touch with the individual rather than getting swayed away by swayed away by the automated systems. So the message from here is, I am not trying to demean the implication of or the invention that has happened related to AI everywhere nowadays. The talk of the town is whether you are using ChatGPT, whether you are using Microsoft Copilot, okay, whether you are using Perplex, or so for that say DeepSeek, any other automated systems or the applications to guide you in your routine work. So when the discussions are around it, but on ground we have seen there are problems, okay, and that doesn't mean we are not in favor of accepting or adapting to the technologies. So the intention of starting this primarily this story is there are lessons to learn. When we become too much of dependent on IT enabled or say advanced systems, at times the situation, the environment, unforeseen environment may create a problem for us. So for that, we always need to be ready with a backup or alternative mechanism. I hope I am audible. Hello? Okay. So coming back to the next level of discussion. So this is not to demean any technology. It's primarily to understand. I have a simple question for the entire team. Okay. Can somebody say how many angles are there? Yes. Supriya, I believe they are allowed to, voice over, right? The picture that I have seen, can somebody say how many angles are there? Anyone? Okay, 6 angles, 16 angle. Any other view?
Hello.
Yeah.
Sir, your screen is not visible, sir.
This is
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
how
Yes,
many,
sir.
yeah, how many angles are there in this diagram? This is the ask. Somebody said, I believe 16. Somebody said it is 6. May I know what is the, any other deviation to this answer? 8. Interesting. Okay. It's 16. So those who are in favor of 16, can you please explain how it is 16? Let us try to make this session a little bit interactive. 16 is close. Yes. Chandra Prakash, you said 16. Will you be able to explain how it is 16? There is one more person who said Aburi Lakshman Kumar, 16. This is the PPT. Those who said 16, can you please explain? Or you want me to share the right answer now? I'm not sure. Nobody is talking. I hope I am audible, loud and clear. So the precise answer is 18 angles. Okay, this is more interesting. In each side, 4 angles. So 4 into 4, 16.
So participants, you can interact with the speaker.
Yeah, please. That's the intent actually. I just want you to be a little bit interactive. 4 into 4, 16. I couldn't understand this logic. On each side, 4 angles. It's a two-dimensional plane on which there are two, crossing lines. Two lines crossing each other. So assuming they are intersecting at 90 degree, again, if you go with this assumption, logically, if you first scanning, you will see there are 4 angles. This is the simplistic view. Okay. Then start going with a 180 degree with a starting point and keep rotating. So you will get another 4 set of angles, right? 4 plus 4, 8. Go with 270 degree. Okay. So that way you will get another 4. So that makes it 12. And you add one full circle. So that is 360 degree. So that makes it 13. So 13 is the maximum number one can have. So that is my interpretation. 16, probably your logic sounds, great. So the only one input here is, the message I want to pass it from here is, if you look at a problem, when specifically it's a business problem, I am referring to it, to one individual, it may appear very simplistic problem. Like somebody can say it is only 4 angles. Okay. It can have 13 angles, as I said. So that is probably a complex way of looking at the business problem. And if somebody is saying 16 angles, it is further more complex. So far, he was able to justify the complexity. Okay. So, that will probably lead to the right path to get a solution. This is simple. Okay. Anyway, I can share the PPT again, but it's a very simplistic view. Just 2 lines crossing each other. That's all. Okay. So the messaging from here is, if you look at a problem, it may appear to you as simple. The same problem being viewed by another person may appear to be complex or very complex. Okay. So at times, what we do as part of the solution enabler to the business, we at times underestimate the complexity. At times, we also overestimate. When you are doing overestimation, while arriving at the solution, we provide probably best-in-class solution, which may not be practically possible to implement, or it will be very it may not be cost effective to the end user is going to buy it. And if you are underestimating the solution by, oversighting the complexity of the issue, then of course we will deliver a solution which is half-cooked. It may not be usable or may not bring in any benefit to the end customer who is intended to buy that solution. So that is the message I want to pass, okay, from this slide. I hope it is clear. So specifically the messaging, your view depends on your viewpoint, from which angle you are trying to analyze the complexity of the issue. Now again, I'll try to define, anyone who can, probably there's a definition of infinity. If I define infinity, how it's a limiting case of x, 1 by x. That is how we define infinity, or is there any other view? Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, you are audible, sir.
So if you are asked to define infinity, how do you define it? Is it undefined, or is it, how do you do it? Or is it 1 by 0? Is 1 by 0 infinity? It has a linking. Let me explain. It's when you say 1 by, limiting case of x tending to 0, 1 by x. So that is what infinity is. Infinity is a very huge number. Okay. Mathematically, those who are interested into mathematics, this is essence of life, essence of achievement. Okay. As a human being, if you see, 1 is a constant, and if you take x as the number of wants that you have, say suppose you have only single want, then 1 by 1 is definitely 1. So whatever want you have, you are going to achieve it. The achievement factor will be tremendously high, 100%. Okay. If you have 2 wants, so then in that case, your achievement factor will be 1 by 2, 50%. Okay. The satisfaction level will be 50%. If you are having 2 wants to meet at the same time, then of course, you may not be provided with all the supporting requirement through which you will be able to get satisfied with your wants. But think of a scenario when your want is less than 1. You make it, so let's make x as 0.1. So that way it will become the achievement factor or the satisfaction level will be 10. If you are having less want, your satisfaction will be increasing manifold. You make it 0.0, make x 0.01, your achievement or satisfaction will be 100. So this is one of the key element which was again taught to me by one of my mathematics professor long back in 1980s when he was trying to explain us. Okay, and his pure definition is when you are trying to achieve anything bigger in your life, if you want to be satisfied always in life, then limit your wants. Okay. This is one of the message I want to pass to all of us in this particular, program, wherein try to put some restrictions around the wants. And the same applies to the students even. Nowadays, when students come to a class, they come with various wants, right? I need a mobile phone, I need a bike, I need a best class, hostel facilities. Nowadays, even most of the engineering colleges I have seen, earlier days it used to be a single room, and with a shared accommodation. Now you have 3-tier, 2-tier, single AC, double sharing, triple sharing, non-AC, all those options are available, right? So that is where people come with a huge amount of want and eventually their achievement factor go down. Again, it's not to demotivate any such kind of good facilities that is coming up, but it is the only intent is to put some constraint, some restriction, build up an environment wherein the ultimate objective for which the students are coming to, students are coming, or for that sake, as an individual, we want to achieve or get satisfied. So that objective is achieved. So then very quickly we'll touch upon, the different ICT technologies. When I say ICT, it is primarily information and communication technologies. That is the what is the trend that is going on the ground. Okay. When I say on ground, the technology that is going on, if you see, there are few in terms of be it artificial intelligence, be it the telecom technology that is 5G, be it IoT, Internet of Things or blockchain, and the next generation computing that is quantum computing. These are some 3, 4, 5 line items which draws attention of everyone. Okay. And as far as AI concerned, probably I narrated a story which was negative, which says negative about AI, just to keep the discussion lighter. Okay. But otherwise, it's primarily helps increasing our productivity, no doubt. Okay. And specifically when it comes to industries like healthcare, finance, or be it cybersecurity or be it retail industry, that is where artificial intelligence carries a lot of importance. I'll narrate a story here again. So think of a scenario wherein, that is what we name it as a next generation cells. You are watching a movie, okay, of your favorite hero. For me, it is Amitabh Bachchan. Okay, if he's wearing a blue coat and while you are trying to see the movie, you thought probably that the blazer that he is wearing of the blue color attracts your vision, or creates some interest in that particular blazer, and you thought to buy it. Okay, so what is the option available to you at this point of time? You are seeing a movie, your hero is wearing a coat which impresses you, and you are now ready to buy it. So what is the options that is available to you? Either you can walk down to the store, so that way you have to stop the movie. You are into a movie, seeing the movie, now you need to stop and go for shopping. Otherwise, if you complete the movie and then coming out, there is a possibility you may move the link, you may forget, the interest that got generated at that point of time. So to capture this, what business has done, they have thought of something called next generation cell. What is expected? You technically touch that particular, either you through a touch screen, you touch it, or through your remote, you point at it, and eventually it will take you to a shopping site, okay, where it will go for a comparison. It will display all the products, either matching with the color combination, color code, matching with the attribute of that blazer that he was wearing, of different size, different texture, different brand, with a price tag on it. And eventually, if you're selecting any one of them, you will be triggered to go for the shopping through the shopping sites that is available. Hello. So that way, the one that you are having in your thought, while I'm sorry, some noise is coming, I'm not sure. So I'm sorry, some noise. But anyway, so what I was trying to say is, it will trigger your shopping habit, and you can go and do the shopping through the shopping cart. I know the shopping sites. Okay, so that is how the next generation sales business is thinking to enable. Okay, now the problem. What is the problem here? Do we really have a problem? When we started building up this application, one of my team was involved when we were trying to do a proof of concept on this technology. Okay, we tried to use some learning models, okay, where the data is there. Using that, will allow the system to learn. There we have defined how a sofa is to be identified, how a blazer is to be identified. There are certain parameters through which we have learned the system. And while the training was done, then when I was actually doing the testing, there was a movie wherein a dog was passing through. Unfortunately, the systems captures the dog as a sofa. So those kind of issues also may happen. So that's the erroneous scenario for which you need to retrain your system and make it 100% efficient. But believe me, this AI nowadays has gone up to actually a level wherein it is helping the students, helping the teachers, helping the healthcare professionals. Okay, so doctor sitting far off is able to do robotics-enabled surgery, okay, by giving instructions rather than holding a seizure on their hand. So that is also doable. The only thing is, it has made the healthcare to reach to a different set of people. The new drugs, the new drugs composition, extensively using huge volume of data. So every day there is something or other new drugs coming up. Okay. The time taken to produce a vaccine, we all have seen during the COVID days. So all these are becoming possible because we have started building a very strong AI-driven systems on ground. So on the 5G technology, those who are aware of, I believe all of you might have heard of BSNL launching the 5G across the country, which is probably going to be a game changer. Okay, though other service providers have started already have done it. Okay, but penetration to the grassroots level, when I say grassroots level, to a village where people are not still having the the right kind of connectivity. That is where the intent of the central government, the intent of individual governments, they have a high, high level plan to bring the technology to the grassroots level. Nowadays, if anyone of you are from village area, you go and find all the kids, most of the kids, specifically post the COVID, when the virtual classroom started happening. So most of the people are holding a smartphone on their hand. So that way they are getting connected. And this 5G technology primarily will bring in your edge computing, wherein most of the computations that is supposed to happen on the decision making will happen on the end devices, not at the server level. And on the Internet of Things, again, it's a different story. Many devices, all we have a information highway, we can say. Connectivity channel is available through internet. You get connected to all your devices, start planning your day, and remotely you can connect a lot of things. So if I take the example of this connected vehicle, those who are using a connected vehicle, you must have experienced, even nowadays it has not only in the cars, it has gone to the two-wheelers. You want to allow your kid to drive a two-wheeler and you want to set a perimeter limit, you can get it done if you are the owner of the connected device that is available with your two-wheeler or be it four-wheeler. You set a perimeter, you set say you want to stop the engine, you need to start the engine remotely, you can get it done. So all these things are only possible because so many devices are getting connected through internet to the primarily, how do you put it? It's a end device which is meant to serve you, that you can control remotely. Okay. So while coming back to the blockchain technology, this is probably one area which many of the countries have not signed off on this. There is a resistance in terms of accepting cryptocurrencies, okay, and accepting the trustworthiness of this technology, though there is a lot of research happening here. Okay. Then quantum computing, as I was saying, it's primarily bringing in a device. I remember around 1992 when I was studying in the first or second semester of MCA. During that time, I was asked to make a presentation, and I believe there is an article that has come out in 90s on quantum computing. And during that time, the focus was not on specifically the processing capacity of the computer, rather than during those days, memory used to be a very costly affair. Okay, we all worked in a system which was, I believe, 8 GB RAM, and then 360 MB RAM and 8 GB hard disk. That used to be a system where 16 people used to. It's a multi-processing system where 16 people used to get connected, and memory used to be very costly. So they were deciding to, the discussions was around saving on the memory cost. But nowadays, memory is absolutely cheaper. So the processing speed, to increase it, the quantum computer started contributing towards it. The processor capability has to increase so that vast amount of data can be processed. Okay. So that is the demand of the current time, and scientists, researchers have put enough effort to bring out quantum computers, which is going to help us. Okay. So to make the business stay adaptive and competitive, they need to start adapting to the technology. Okay. And innovation is a must. It has to continue. And when you are trying to do some innovation, obviously there will be new opportunities, there will be challenges as well. To meet the challenges, we need to figure out some alternative solution. Okay. So I'll try to share a few experiences that I have in the industry. Okay. I started my career as a COBOL developer. Okay. And I remember the first program I wrote, first program in the sense, the first program that I tried to put into production. Okay. I submitted the job. It was a bad job. I believe the system was a VAX BMS. Those who are from computer science background, you may think it's a third generation language. Nowadays, even kids doesn't understand what COBOL is. So it is a very powerful business language which he used. I'll take up the questions. I saw a few messages coming in on the cryptocurrency. I'll take up the question. So let me finish it up, then I'll definitely take it up. Okay. So now the point is what I was trying to explain. My first program that I deployed in the production, okay, though we have delivered programs in terms of meeting the course curriculum requirement, but when you were into industry, okay, and we have written I remember the program was a very small program. It was supposed to read from a file and do some manipulation and then eventually write or create a report. Okay. Unfortunately, I would not say unfortunately, the program was submitted in the evening. Next day morning, when I was making an entry to this office, I was called by the operations head who was handling the operations. And the question was, what exactly you submitted yesterday? I couldn't understand why he's asking this question. Then I was told the program that I have submitted, it has killed up the entire memory. Yes, system has gone to a halt state. So they had no other option but to kill the job. Okay. Then delete all the temporary files that got created and freed up the enough space so that at least the other programs can run. And interestingly, that program itself was, when I checked, it was somehow having an infinite loop, which probably may sound very silly at this age, or probably this current generation of people when they understand what infinite loop is and how a program can be put into infinite loop without, if you take appropriate measures, it can easily be done. Okay. But from that COBOL programmer, a person who started the journey with a COBOL programmer, now primarily I delivered the best in class team who delivers programs with a microservice-based architecture, which are getting deployed on cloud. Okay. So it's a completely different technology. And the only one request, unless you have that mindset to change, it becomes difficult. Okay. And during those old days, probably again, I will take one example. I believe I was a faculty, I was taking classes for computer science students when I was first involved in the consulting assignment, wherein we integrated WordStar, the then Windows-based editor package, then Fortran program to write the business logic, and AutoCAD to do some mechanical designing. So all these three independent systems were integrated, and then we produced a report for Government of Orissa, giving them a run of a canal design output. So that was the first consulting assignment for me. But again, all these things happen, and when we try to interrelate those things, those days also integration point was there. How do you integrate with different complex systems? Today it exists in a much simpler way. During those days, it's all different, breed of technologies, and into device some mechanism to integrate so that the result is producible for the customer. Okay. So that is probably one of the example I took. Okay, as a COBOL developer, I started, and then next dimension, dealing with the customers, and specifically when you were dealing with Indian customers. Okay. Indian customers have typically two different aspects. One is they're very much cost-centric. When I say cost-centric, as a typical mindset that we all go, right? We always visit a store when there is some sales going on, right? So our customers also carry the similar kind of mindset. Okay. Anywhere we'll get something freebies, something at a discounted price, we'll always prefer to go for that. At times we compromise with the quality, but at the end, we always see the monetary value coming out of it. Okay. The other part is, that is one aspect. So they're very much cost-centric. Second, they're very much demanding. Demanding, the reason is, I slog hard for 10, 12 hours, though The official timing is supposed to be 8 hours. Okay. I expect my team to, struggle on ground, put maybe 13, 14 hours to meet the delivery timeline. Okay. So you will always see from the Indian customer side, there is always a pressure, okay, to deliver at the minimal cost with the minimum schedule. Okay. And at times, because of these two pressures, people compromise with the quality. And we end up spending more time to fix the issues rather than coming out with a proper design and delivering it in appropriate time. So that is the Indian customer mindset. Okay. And of course, everything they need fast. The best part is most of the Indian customers in today's world, they are always open to adopt the best-in-class technology. Okay. You go and talk to any of the customers in the market, every time you will get a feeling, irrespective of the business domain they are from, they would like to have the best-in-class technology to be provided to them. And when it comes to IT systems, what we have seen, the trend is they adopt or they prefer to go for the open source technology wherein licensing cost can be waived off. Okay. So these are the typical mindset of an Indian customer. Okay. So you need to deal with such kind of people. And now the critical problem we see, not only in India, even when we are going to overseas customers, they will find in today's world, in most of the decision-making positions, you will find many second generation Indians sitting there. Okay. They understand the psychology of how India works, how the Indian people work. And at times, again, it's a personal view from academical interest. I can discuss this with all of you. At times, people feel probably let us exploit the eagerness of people to grow. They are ready to spend more effort. So, but that should not end up in this way. We should not, exploit the relationship that we are holding to gain the maximum benefit out of a relationship. In such a case, the relationship at times get worsened because people try to compromise with the delivery quality to meet the cost effectiveness. So those are the kind of things that we need to probably have an open discussion when we're talking to any of the customers for any kind of solutioning. Okay. The other aspect, I'll share again one example. I delivered one program in when I was part of BSNL program long back in 2011. There is a beautiful story attached to it. BSNL has a presence to the grassroots level. When I say grassroots level, probably, at least at the block level, you will find during those days, there used to be a voice connectivity. Okay, though data connectivity was not that great, but at least voice connectivity used to be there. Okay. And that was one of the public sector unit or the, government agency, which was having maximum workforce to enable that communication technology to the grassroots level. Okay. But if you see the competency of those people, apart from the DOT officials who were holding, senior level positions, ground level, the workforce that used to work for BSNL, the technical competency was always a challenge. Okay. And I remember during that time, we did an implementation of a project called CDR project, called Detailed Record, where we're trying to bring in a change in technology in terms of replacing their switches. Earlier, before that, it was primarily meter-based reading. How many calls you are making? Somebody will come every month and will check what is the, closed meter reading, and they will check what is the open meter reading for that particular month. They will subtract it and then do the calculation so that you get a bill for all those postpaid landline owners. Okay. It was primarily for the landline business. So then when started implementing the CDR, the first challenge we saw is the, installing the switches on ground where everything can be captured. And the other challenge we saw, because it was a manually driven process earlier, somebody will make a visit, will check the readings and then do a data input. When the automated switches were brought in to capture the CDR, the system was designed like after a certain limit of outstanding, if it is exceeding, the outstanding is exceeding for 3 months, then your connection will get disconnected automatically. system will disconnect you. So when we started implementing in one of the, I will not quote the state, for a specific state, for a specific small switch area, we have seen that particular state was having around 100 crore outstanding. Means people have used the facility or the services of the BSNL and they have not paid. So the major challenge we had is when you are going to implement such a system, so the day you will implement, next day, it is likely that all those people who are having a long outstanding, their connections will get disconnected. And the, chief general manager of that particular state told us categorically, you cannot implement. Okay. I cannot allow my people to, the end users to rush to the BSNL office and वो लोग तो means ईट का ईट बजा देंगे. That was the exact statement I received when my team was implementing it on ground. Okay. So what I mean to say is, this is again a difficult kind of scenario we will face when you are going to implement anything on ground when it comes to, Indian environment where we are trying to implement some very tech-savvy programs. But the situation has changed from 2011. Now we are in 2024 or 2025. There is a huge change in the thought process and the mindset. Okay. So now we have started adapting to the technology. So these kind of issues are very unlikely to come, but with experience people learn. So that is what I thought probably to share with you. And when it comes to multicultural environment, that is again another dimension. I'll club these two, multicultural environment and the diversity. These are the two factors we need to give, again, equal attention to. I'm not sure what is the regulation today in the colleges when people are studying. Generally, during our days, we have seen the diversity was never maintained. When I say diversity, people from different section of the society, people from different states, people from different sex, people from different community. So all those were not balanced. Okay. So that probably always lead to environment wherein our thought, our interpretation of any situation, our interpretation of any problem, our interpretation of any solution get biased. So to get the right set of input, unless you get the right set of input from all the sections for a larger population, then it becomes very difficult to arrive at a solution. Your solution may be biased. So to mitigate that, managing diversity is equally critical. To make your workforce, to make your team successful, you need to have a diversified workforce who can contribute to their best in a very conducive environment and make it happen. And of course, there are challenges in managing the diversity. And when it comes to a global scenario now, okay, if you are handling a global program, there are demands like I have seen customers coming from Middle East for whom we make a delivery. I myself was there in US for close to 10 years. I have seen the way customer works there and the kind of expectations they carry. I'll tell you one example. When you are in US, you will always get an opportunity to go ahead of another person. You are making an entry to the office building. Say there is one American and probably there are few Asian people coming together or multiple Americans and Asian coming together. You will always find the American guy coming forward, opening the door for you, allowing you to make an entry. But here the way we are brought up, okay, we always rush, right? So our expectation is if there is a building and there is a set of people coming, I have to make an entry, I'll be the first person to make an entry. But the concept of that exists in US is completely different. Okay. And in such a scenario, the expectation also they carry, somebody probably coming together, if the other person is showing the path to you to make an entry, he would also expect that you to show the path to him to make an entry. So that is a cultural difference we need to learn. If you're repeating the similar kind of mistakes 2-3 times, they may feel awkward. Okay. So that is, and the other factor is punctuality. Office starts at 8. You won't find any American people making an entry to the office after 8. And it gets over at 4. Dot at 4, you will find people are leaving. So, whereas in India, the expectation is most of the times you are delayed for 5 minutes, 10 minutes because of whatever reasons. There is more traffic on the road. I cannot get the food and I cannot get the breakfast on time, so I am getting delayed. Okay. There is some critical issue happened for which I am getting delayed and I forgot to intimate my manager. So these are the typical behavior, typical response we expect or we are expecting, or it is happening on ground when we are dealing with a larger team. Okay. So culturally, it's a different factor that we need to consider. And you go to Middle East, there again, assumption is something different. Probably the mindset that they carry is they are rich people, they have money, okay, they can get everything done, pretty demanding, but the emotional contact is there. They feel they try to establish an emotional bond with the person with whom they are working. Okay, it's not that it's a customer and the service provider. It's primarily a kind of sharing the mindset, paying equal respect. Okay, so at times in India we see that part somehow is missing, and specifically when it comes to the current generation, it becomes much more difficult. Okay. So the next point I would like to deal with is dealing with technology adoption. Technology adoption is again probably another key element to success of any business. Okay, if you think of, say, technology adoption and forcing people to adapt to the technology, they are two different things. Okay, at the organization level, are we open to adopt the new technologies? If we are not, then we are going to perish. As simple as that. Okay. Today, if I take, say, 2 months to make a delivery of a particular program or project, and my competition is taking, say, 50% of its time or 25% of time to make the delivery with support from my AI-enabled technology, then obviously my customer is going to prefer my competition or not me. Okay. So what I should do for that? Only option left out to me is to adopt the technology. Sooner the better. Okay. Of course, with all security compliance taken care of, with all the measures in place, it is expected we should be open to adopt the technology. And, for technology adoption, what is the mechanism? The first point starts with learning and development. I need to have the right set of people with the mindset, completely set for them to enter into learning and development mode. When I say learning and development, there could be theoretical trainings being conducted. So there could be, people participating in collaborative work on the job training. Okay. They need to go for the certifications by external agencies, get certified. Okay. Start doing POCs. Okay. Then minimal viable products for the customers. While doing it, you learn the technology and then you start delivering. So adopt all the new technologies that is either in place or likely to come in future. Those who can think about the future, then probably their growth nobody can stop. Okay. And then coming back to the next typical problem that we see is dealing with the new generation kids. We call them Generation Alpha. I'm not sure about the current scenario in the engineering colleges or say management institutions where this Generation Alpha are studying. What is the kind of problem the teachers are facing? But at least from my personal experience, I have seen the way people adopt, the way these kids are behaving. When I say behaving, it's behaving in terms of their interaction with teachers, with their friends, with their colleagues, or with the external worlds, with the society, it is becoming very, very difficult to deal with them. Okay. At times, the routine work they want to do in a different way. I'm not sure how many of you probably would prefer to wake up at 10 a.m. and then working till 1 a.m. So 1 a.m. or 2 a.m. I'll go to bed. I'll wake up at 10, 11, 12, depending on my mood. So that is probably is not the way we were brought up. Okay. We are always taught early to, bed and early to rise makes a man healthy, wealthy, and wise. So those concepts are gone. Okay. Though it sounds very nice, but today's generation, they hardly follow it. And eventually, the other attitude they have developed is challenging at each and every step. You provide a solution. Say, suppose I have seen it while taking probably internal classes for the team. When you are providing some solution, you are discussing something, they have too many questions. That is one way good to have the questions. But at the other side, the intention of asking a question is also equally critical. Are you trying to judge the competency of the teacher? Are you trying to judge the competency of the technical lead who is driving the team? So if that is the intent, then the whole purpose of learning and development is lost. We face these challenges. I'm not sure, being in the engineering colleges, you also might be having similar kind of experience, okay, wherein people might be facing the problem. Can I hear from any one of you? Any such kind of experience you had where people, your students in the class try to judge the competency of the teacher? Yes? Hello? Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I'm not hearing from the audience. I believe,
Yes, sir, you're
No,
on.
sir, you are audible.
Have you experienced this? I believe
Yes, sir.
most of these people are from academical background, right? They are into academical institutions. Is it right? So how do you deal with such kind of kids? Yes, anyone from the participant can volunteer and speak out something.
Sir, could you please repeat your question?
Yeah, my question is simple. This generation alpha, when I say generation alpha, these are the new set of experiments for us. They are the
Right.
set of people, okay, either COVID or post-COVID batches. Okay. While they are in a classroom or they are in a learning and development session being conducted, at times they try to, the intention is primarily to judge, to test the competency of the person, be it the tech lead, be it the teacher. If it's an academical institution, it's the teacher who is taking the classes, or, in a corporate sector like us, if it's a technical lead who is taking some session, they prefer to ask multiple questions, which is encouraged, but not in the interest of learning. It's primarily the interest is to judge the competency of the other person who is imparting the knowledge. So have you experienced such kind of issues?
Sir, because I teach in a college, so they are like undergraduate students. So I find mostly their intention is I find it they are open to discussion. So if they try to judge me, and if I encourage them to have a talk or a healthy discussion with them, then it's fine. Because otherwise, if I talk with them that why are you judging me, or as a teacher, then they will not like cooperate with me. So it's better to have a healthy discussions or try to understand what their point of view, because this generation has AI and Google everything, so they know most of the things. So it's always like encourage their thinking and talk with them out of the box. So it really helps. It's my personal opinion. That's how I handle them actually.
Absolutely. Probably I would appreciate your response, the way I have responded. We should be open to accept their feelings. The only intent is probably the reason I put this question is we are seeing on ground. Okay, I'll take probably one example. Again, I will not quote the name of the individual. Okay, the person was very proud, declaring herself as computer science graduate, joined my team. From day one, productivity absolutely zero. Okay, I tried all my means. Okay, giving her low end work. Okay. Initially, she was deployed to do some programming, which she miserably failed, and she never felt, probably responsible for it. Rather than, sir, I am a COVID batch. I am from COVID batch, so I didn't study well. So, though I am from computer science, I do not know programming. That was the answer. So then all the mechanisms were adapted, given, saying, can you please, start doing some low-end work, start supporting operational activities, which is driven by a Bible, right? We have a standard operating procedure, you follow it, and then execute the steps. Through that, you learn. Okay. You will find resistance. The mindset is, I'm sorry. And the other typical difference with this set of people, during our days, I remember even the institution where I used to study long back in 90s, we had a library which used to be open till 10 p.m. during 90s. Okay, and that was the only source of information apart from our teachers. There is no other communication, no internet. Okay, phone number used to be 3-digit number. So you can understand the mode of communication during those days. So either teachers are helping or books are helping you. And for books, it used to be specifically in the computer science, books used to be published in US. So you have to buy paying a hefty price. So the only option is, copies are available either in the book bank or in the library. You need to spend maximum time in the library to learn. So that used to be the mode of, learning for us. But nowadays, you check with any of the people, you will see primarily they are not having books. If some institutions forcing to issue a book, you will find it is untouched. Okay. This practical experience, even I'll tell you, yesterday I shifted my daughter from XIM. Okay. She was coming to home because her course is getting completed. She got a placement. Checking why so many books, and literally I was astonished to see none of the books are touched even. Okay. He said, it's fine. We get the notes, and then there is Google, and then Chat GPT and Perplex. I believe Perplex is another similar kind of tool. So with that, they studied. So that means they're very precise what they want to accept. Okay. If I want to do a specific work, for that, whatever is needed, I will learn. Nothing beyond it. But when we used to refer the books, you keep on browsing through the chapters, right? While learning X, I can also learn Y, Z, P, Q, R. So that thought process is not there. So this is the generation with whom we are existing today. And probably you all are the people who face more problems on ground. Okay. Making students to sit in the class for an hour. Okay. They would prefer to be in the virtual medium, virtual way. Okay. They would prefer to get connected over cell phone or get connected over the laptop, be there in the system, and partially listen to the teacher or the instructor, and then partially do their own work, all into parallel processing mode. So this is about the generation alpha. Okay, so that is what I have seen happening on the ground, the way people. And now probably with this, I would not trying to drag it any further. It's already 8:45. Any questions from you? I have seen somebody, writing a question on this. What was the earlier question? Blockchain. Sir, you asked about cryptocurrency. So, sir, my question is, how is blockchain used in financial services, cryptocurrency, banking? Okay. I'm sorry, this probably is not my domain of experience. Cryptocurrency specifically, I have not worked on. Okay. I only understood. I'll tell you my experience with cryptocurrency. I tried downloading a so-called mobile app, try to do some investment using cryptocurrency. Then I realized it's restricted by Reserve Bank of India. It is not being allowed in India. I stopped the operation. Okay. And this is still a fictitious item. But what I will tell you is I have done one business 4.0 consulting work for educational university. Okay. Where the selection process was based on blockchain. Specifically, the information about a student, irrespective of wherever he has studied, it is all collected. Okay. And through the blockchain, using the blockchain technologies, they were deciding to check the authenticity of the student so that any fraudulent activity in terms of providing a wrong certificate, providing a certificate which is already gone for some alteration. So all those things can be captured and the right selection of candidates are being made. Okay. I'm not sure if I have responded to your question. Your question is related to the banking, but specifically I have not worked on it. Probably responding on that will be a problem. So what I said is the educational industry, that is what I have seen where the blockchain is being used. Any other question?
Okay, participants, if any more questions, you can ask.
Good evening, sir. This is Dr. Ranjan from Central University. My question is that in this newly technological development era where most of the information are available over internet and nowadays this generative AI is taking over the information system where you can just type a proper keyword and appropriate keyword, you will get all your answers. So the problem is that how you keep students engaging in the class.
So they need to be given more input on the prompt engineering. They should know what prompt engineering is. Okay, so that they can. I understand the challenge we also face in the industry. I'm not sure, probably during the COVID time, as an organization, we decided we will be all working from home. So that way the messages were floated. And then we realize in a day, effective out of 9 hours, at least for a person like me, more than 6 to 7 hours used to be there. Either you are on a teleconference or in a video conference or in a Teams call or a Google Meet. So that has become the part of the life. So that way, the productivity also diminishes. Okay, in a day, if you spend some 6-7 hours in a call, I don't know when you'll get the opportunity or time to work actually on the problem or the situation on ground. So that was the issue. Then we took a decision to ask the associates to start coming to start operating from office. We saw a lot of resistance. Okay, to be very honest, we saw a lot of resistance. You people at least have a control mechanism saying unless you are coming to attend the class, then probably your attendance will be sought, and then you have some numbers fixed, less than 75% attendance, you are not allowing them to appear for the internal or the final examination. But in the industry, it becomes difficult. They will find some reason or other why to work from home. Okay. And most of the time, when the general observation we have seen, this younger generation, specifically the COVID batches, when they are saying they're working from home, any issue happens, you give them a call. Either the person is outside or into some medical emergency or in front of a medical store. You don't have any mechanism to identify what exactly he's doing. It's a typical problem on ground. The only way to motivate them is, try to change their mindset through better engagement. Okay, you need to be a friend. Otherwise, we know what the kind of situation we face in the classrooms. Even for the, the manpower who works for us in the organization, we see the challenges. Even they are being paid, we have a mechanism. We can probably ask them, but there again, the different laws come into place. Okay. But at least academical institutions are fortunate to enforce their attendance system. Okay. And keep them giving probably challenging assignments. even if they're using, the so-called generative AI technologies, you can give them challenging assignments to solve rather than teaching them the pure play theory. Probably any practical problems you're giving them, it will be easier for them to work out a solution and then get actively engaged with you. This is again pure play my view. Probably there could be some better options as well.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. I'll keep in mind all those things, because after this COVID and all, and this what you're referring is Gen Alpha, probably that all these millennial people are also referred as Gen Z. So they are in a different mode of understanding and tackling things. And most of the times, whatever you ask them to do or anything, even though we try to enforce assignments. So when I'm teaching a tool, I asked my students to, this is your assignment, get it done next class. So mostly what I see that if they come, they will either complete the assignment using ChatGPT or Gemini or whatever. They mostly prefer these generative AI tools to get their job done at a very faster rate. So even though, like as you mentioned correctly, that the productivity goes down, that also we see in that in our students when they face interviews, even though they know the answer, they probably don't understand the question. So that's what is happening, because like even me also, like for a company, I was in an interview panel and I was taking interviews of my own students. When I asked the questions, they are not able to answer. But when I was out of the interview panel, then I came to the class. I said, this is the question I asked. They said, sir, this can be done like this and this. They said, why didn't you answer? So that's what is happening. So even though we try a lot of tools or methods to engage them, they are more prone into this kind of stuffs, generative AI stuffs. So that's what is happening.
I absolutely agree. That is actually they're not seeing any benefit in understanding the peripheral subjects when you are talking. When I say periphery, if you are talking any core thing, even the mathematical knowledge is going down. I'll share probably one quick example. I remember around 90, I believe it was in 2003. 2003, I went to Bank of America in US with one of my colleagues to open an account. There were around 1700 hard currency and then some traveler's check. Total calculation, the lady who was working in the bank was 32 years experience doing the same kind of job. She tried to do the addition. 1700 hard currency and I believe 500 or 700 traveler's check. She tried 4 times, she could not add it up. Then literally she got so frustrated, they said, it's very difficult for me. Why don't you people help me? Okay. And within no minutes, we responded, this is the total amount. And said, you people are Indian, you people are smart in mathematics, and you people are very good in mathematics. Okay. So nowadays, students in the class, I'm not sure if any one of them are interested in learning the basics, the theoretical stuff, learning mathematics, and unless primarily those who are into any kind of engineering stream, if they're not good at mathematics, then eventually they will end up in a bigger mess. Okay. While they get a shortcut to any kind of questions through this generative AI solutions, but again, if the problematic situation changes, it will be difficult for them to respond back. That is what is happening.
Very true, sir. That's what's happening.
Any other questions, clarifications? I can understand it's 9 p.m. It's too late for all of you. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So I'm not sure whether it was pretty effective for all of you or not. It was primarily in a very short time. I thought probably to take the class or
Yes.
take the session. Okay. Otherwise, probably we could have arranged a little bit different. And I believe my email ID must be there. It's srikanta.mahapatra@tcs.com. For any specific queries, you can reach out to me. And of course, my number is there. Let me put in the chat window.
Yes, sir. We will share your email ID with the participants in our group. Okay. I think no more questions from the participants.
So
Okay.
this is my mail ID and this is my number. I have pasted in the chat window.
Yes, sir.
So you all can reach out to me if for anything. I may not be the right person to respond to each and every query, but definitely whatever I could, I will do that. Okay. And thanks for your patience to listen to me. I could not again switch on my video. It's a technical issue. When I say technical issue, I am still there in the office and I have to take the call from here. And fortunately, unfortunately, there is a lot of restrictions that is imposed when you get extended through Google Meet or through internet. Okay. So that could be the reason for which my camera is not getting switched on.
Okay, sir. No problem, sir. So thank you, sir. It is really a very informative and interactive session. And within a short period time, you have managed to do all this. So thank you so much, sir.
Mr. Debraj has raised the hand. Is there any query from Mr. Debraj?
Yes, Debraj Sinha.
Debraj Senapati, I see. Debraj Senapati has raised the hand.
Senapati. Yeah. So Debraj Senapati, no. Yes.
Any queries?
Yes, Debraj sir, if you have any query, you can ask. No, I think.
Okay, no, not an
Okay.
issue.
Okay, sir. So participants, please switch on your videos. We'll have a photo.
So this is mandatory, I guess. But unfortunately, I will not be able to switch on my video. It's not
Okay, sir.
working.
It's okay, sir. But you be
Ma'am,
present,
it's
sir.
been
We will take.
disabled from your end.
Yes, ma'am.
Hello?
Ma'am, it's
Yes,
been
we-
disabled from your end. The video has been disabled from your end, the admin end.
Oh, now it's okay. Yeah. Okay. Thank you, participants. Please switch on your videos. Okay. So thank you, everyone, for your patience, and thank you for a very interactive session. Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you all.
Thank you so much, all of you. Okay, we'll meet tomorrow again at 6 p.m. for the 5th day of this FTP. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye. Bye.
Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.